Okay guys, first of all, start with why I'm making this video. Don't really post videos on YouTube, but I was looking online and I see a lot of people that are trying to correct a third gear kick with this Transgo 2-3 shift valve. It's actually incorrect procedure to do that. I read a lot of people buying this steel 2-3 shift valve, and Transgo actually states pretty clearly right here, it fixes repeated stuck 2-3 shift valve that causes no third or fourth but reverse is okay. Here's the thing, if you have a third gear at all, this shift valve is not your problem. Transgo clearly states it right here. That's not going to be a problem. So if you have a kick in third gear, we're going to go over what really is going to be your problem in just a second. But first, let's talk about Transgo's 2-3 shift valve. Alright, if you have no third gear, this right here is your old valve. It's an old, pretty lightweight valve with the lightweight spring. This is Transgo's updated valve. You can buy them in this box right here. We buy them when they come in a package of 3. So you get 3 springs and 3 valves if you buy it with that part number right there, which is upside down, but you get the point. Alright, in the main valve body right here, this is the picture from Transgo here. There's your shift valve right there. Goes in this bore right here. That bolt right there, that bolt, I'll show you on my drawing here too. 2-3 shift valve. Mine's opposite of the direction of Transgo's picture, but you get the point. This bolt, if you over tighten this bolt right here, you will egg shape the bore in the valve body, and that valve right there will get stuck and it will not move back and forth. That's why Transgo kind of cuts it off right there, so it's less likely to happen, but it still can happen. So never ever ever over tighten that bolt. In fact, I'll venture to say, if you don't have an inch-pound wrench or torque wrench, then don't start this job. You're just not going to be able to complete it. Alright, so quickly, I'm going to run over this with the main valve body. Coast clutch, check all these valves, make sure they move in and out. All these valves up here, make sure they move in and out on the main valve body. You usually won't have a problem with them. If you don't have a lower reverse, check this valve body here. 3 to 4, check this one here. 2 to 3, check this one here. And check the bores, make sure they all move in and out. This is just the manual control valve. It connects to your shifter in the vehicle and moves back and forth, so it knows knows where your shifter is in the vehicle. So again, here's the 1 to 2 valve, timing valve, coast valve, and the regulator valve. You're not usually going to have a problem with any of these unless somebody has over-tightened any of the numerous bolts that go here. They need to be at 90 inch-pounds. If you don't put them at 90 inch-pounds, you're really asking for problems. Alright, now, quickly, because I want to get this over with real quick, show you guys what's going on over here and what your real problem will be if you have a kick in second, third, or fourth gear. In other words, if you're driving down the road and your vehicle bumps into gear as it shifts, your problem is going to be right here. This is called your accumulator valve body, okay? Right here, you got your intermediate clutch, which is second gear, okay? You got your line pressure, okay, which controls exactly what it says, line pressure. You got your overdrive clutch, and you got your direct clutch, third gear. Overdrive, fourth gear. Of course, makes sense, right? Alright, here's the thing. Right down inside of this valve body, you got these little valves here. You need to make sure those valves move back and forth. You need to be very careful not to hit the inside bore of this valve body and damaging it. If you damage it, you're done. You need to buy another one. So you reach down in there where that valve is. Let me see if I can get down in there for you. Move that valve. Make sure it pops back. You need to move it back far, but don't hit the bore in the valve body again. You will damage it. Alright? Get down in there, move it back, and it'll pop back into place. Alright? If it doesn't, you have a problem. Right here. Move that one. Pop back into place. I've already removed the second gear valve here. It's already gone. As you can see, the valve's not in its bore. There's nothing in there anymore. So I've already removed that one. Now here's the tricky part. It's going to confuse some people. This is the line pressure valve. It floats back and forth right here. You see how it's not closed off right there all the way? It will float back and forth right there. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't start rubbing on the side of it with the screwdriver. These are already bad valves, or I wouldn't be doing this. All right? You can move it back and forth and take it apart. You need to take it apart, pull all that out, make sure all of it's working correctly, and put it back in the same way the same way that you take it out. We're not going to go through all that because you're usually not going to have a problem with that. Where you are going to have a problem is right here. All right, inside of here, and a lot of people don't check this, are the plungers for the accumulator valves. Okay, these valves move just fine, right? So you're like, okay, well, let's put it back together, we're good to go. No, your plunger, if you look down in there, there's no plunger there. Where's the plunger at? Look down in there, the plunger's not there either. So that tells you right there, if you look over here, you see my spring? That spring is in pieces. You see this spring? Pieces. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to show you why you have a kick in third gear or overdrive or second. Okay, this is going to be your reason for why you're kicking into gear. So right now, my lovely assistant is going to remove her shirt. Oh, will we at least hold the camera then?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Alright, you need to get up close here where you can see me. So what you're going to have is you're going to have a clip right inside of here. Alright, that clip, you're going to have to remove it. You can see I've already pulled these out a little bit because they're really tough to get out, and I didn't want to sit here for 20 minutes while y'all watch me try and get them out. So you pull these out of the bore. It's going to go inside of there. You can use a screw to screw on the inside of them, and they will come out, but they are not easy. This is third gear clutch. Direct clutch controls third gear. Alright, so inside of here, we're going to pull all this out, and as you can see, well, this is the clip that holds it on, so don't pay attention to that right there. This clip goes right here on this. After you put it in here, it will slide through this slot right here and clip down onto that just like that. Alright, as you can see though, let's get back to the point. The direct clutch here and the spring is completely trashed. So you're not, there's another piece of it, you're not really, your accumulator plunger is not really doing its job at all. You're going to have a hard kick in third gear if this if your spring looks like this. You will definitely have a hard kick in third gear. And you see how that's kind of tough to get out? It needs to be cleaner than that right there. It needs to slide in and out pretty easily. We'll pop this one off. We'll check this spring right here. This spring's also broken, so you're going to have, let's see what it looks like. You won't have as hard of a kick in overdrive as you did in third, but you're going to have a slight kick in overdrive depending on how those springs line up. You probably won't notice it unless you've owned the vehicle for forever, and then it happened, then you'll notice a little bit harder of a kick in overdrive. But in third gear, it would be impossible for you not to have a hard kick in third gear with your plunger spring in this kind of condition. Okay, again, direct clutch, third gear, accumulator, plunger. This is the accumulator. It accumulates the pressure. So what you have is a failure. Now let's go into this. We'll pull this little clip up right here. That holds in the spring here for the bore valve. I'm sorry, for the valve that's in the bore. Let's pop it out. Be careful of the bore. Don't damage it. See how it's a little tough to get out of there? You definitely need to go through something like this with the correct tool to clean it out really good, and clean up the valves with some brake cleaner really good. Do not emery cloth these valves. Do not sand them. Do not do anything to them at all, or you will regret it. So we'll pull that out. Now this valve right here, a lot of you other guys are going to have other problems like no reverse. This valve, if this valve is stuck right there, a lot of times you won't have a reverse. You'll hit the gas, and we're not really sure why it causes it, but it does, and the valve will get stuck. and if you hit the gas a little bit, it'll push it on through, and then your reverse will kick in. Okay, if you guys are having that problem, this is what you need to check right here. This is exactly where you need to go. You'll fix your problem if you do this right here. For some reason, you'll still have a third gear. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but you will still have a third gear, but you will have a hard time with reverse. You'll have to hit the gas, or it'll just not want to go in correctly. Again, check this valve. More than likely it's your problem. It's been my problem more than once or twice, and it's probably going to be your problem. And again, I'm going to take the phone back from my lovely assistant. Thank you. Do not over tighten the bolts. Let me show you how easy it is to damage something here. You see this round part right here on the bore? You see this bolt hole right here? If you over tighten that from the other side, you'll egg shape that little bore, that little round part of the bore right there, and the valve won't want to go in and out, and the plunger won't want to go in and out. So you have to tighten these down at 90 inch-pounds. They say 80 to 100. Tighten them down at 90. You can go to Harbor Freight Tools and get an inch-pound wrench, torque wrench for under 20 bucks, I think. So it'll get you close. They're not very accurate or completely accurate, but they will get you really close. And it's really important that they're all the same tightness. So for you guys that think you have a torque wrench in your wrist, it's really important that you not attempt that with this particular valve body. I personally have done it on other valve bodies, GM valve bodies, Toyota valve bodies. I've done it, but this valve body is not one that you want to play around with. Again, whenever you mess with this valve, it's not going to be closed off all the way into the end of the bore. It won't be there. It floats back and forth. In fact, we can probably tip it up like that. Now it came closed a little bit, so that one's a little stuck. We would want to clean that out, clean up the valve, and make sure that it was sliding in and out of there nice and easy once we clean any burrs up out of the bore that it's moving in and out of. So sorry for any mistakes. It's really late at night, and I just wanted to help out a few people, so I apologize for doing this while I was tired, but I'm sure any of you guys working late will understand. Have a good night. I'll post this as soon as I can. Thanks.